on unceded and also traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, and that while we occupy this land, this is not our land. This acknowledgement does not take the place of authentic relationships with our Indigenous communities, but it serves as a first step, I think, in honoring the land that we live in. I also would like to have a moment of silence after we make a statement about the acts of racism and recent murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and so many other Black people who stand, and to say that we as CoCA and artists across the board, across our cultural and racial reads, that we stand in total opposition to the unjust and unequitable communities that are built through racism. And that we work every day, every time we pick up a pen, a paper, a brush, that we are working to undo that racism, and we're working to undo that 500 years of oppression. Because we as artists, we will not relent. If we can have a moment of silence. Thank you. Well, welcome. My pronouns are she and her. And I really want to welcome all of our members. This is so exciting to see all of you finally. Some of you I've met, some I haven't, some I've talked to, and that was absolutely amazing. And I want to do more of that. I want to welcome not only the members, but our CoCA board, who you'll meet later. I also want to call out our staff, Nat Thornton, who is our curator, waving there. Nat, thank you. And also our newest member, Allison Post. Allison, I just saw you. There you are. And she has been like thunder. We thought it was raining really special stuff when Nat said she would be curator, and then along came Allison, right? So I'm just kind of in the shadows, but I'm still here and working with an amazing staff. Also our volunteers, and we have an incredible group of interns, and I really want to applaud all of them. I've been here for 4 months. I came in February. We had a February portfolio with over 15 artists, and then we had the 2020 member show, 128 artists, March 7th. For the first Thursday, over 500 people came through the doors. I was excited, I'm not gonna lie. I was absolutely excited. And then on March 13th, to show my undue excitement, I closed. Right? I'm like, well, what the hey? So had to close, was upon us. And mid-March, we had the member show online. April, we had our first virtual tour, and we were part of the partnership with By the Hour. And it was amazing to see how Nat was able to get 128 artists all online when we were told we could have 5. So we count to our favor at every turn because our art is so important to us. The portfolio review was absolutely amazing. The bodies of work, the artists who came in, and the way in which the interns just absolutely handled that hands down was just amazing. May 7th, we have first Thursday again, but this time we decided that we would take an actual tour of our brick and mortar. You're gonna see a piece of that, it's gonna be pretty good. And then the next thing you know is that we had work to do. COVID was on us, and I can tell you that we really have been working hard for you to do that. And we'll talk more about that later. But I also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, to our brew guys, to Elizabeth Brewing. And I was told I shouldn't call them the beer guys, but they are the great beer guys. And have been so amazing to us for over many years, and also again this year in very difficult times. So we truly appreciate that. And we can't say enough about Mr. Rock, Stephen Rock, and the work that you've done for us really over generations, basically, and the way in which you've embraced us, and the way in which you are so good at saying who and how we are. Artists and Craftsmen Supply, thank you again for being a sponsor for our award in that sector of the program. Now we also have with us Randy Ingstrom, who is going to double wave so that we can find out who he is. You guys see somebody going like this? This is a double wave. There you go.
Hi, Randy.
Good evening, Mr. Ingstrom. How are you? Okay,
Oh,
technology and OAC.
it was that good of a day, huh?
It was
Well,
that good of a day, all right? Okay.
I'm
I think
unmuted
that's right.
now, and my camera's on. There I am.
there he is.
Yeah, there's nothing like a triple crisis to sharpen your senses.
It is.
That's that right.
Absolutely.
It's lovely to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, and we'll hear from you shortly. One of the things that we really want to be able to be cognizant of is that we're quite privileged to be sitting here in our home, in our warmth with our loved ones and with our colleagues. And so I really want you to, I don't care how you do it, but let's applaud that function, the fact that we have life and we have love and we have liberty. And so that's a huge thing. And artists have been in the forefront of all of those fights for as long as civilization goes on. So Mr. Ingson, you were going to share some thoughts with us. Can you do that? Can you kind of share with us what's been going on, what you're thinking about, how you see us, and kind of just take it away. You're muted.
There it is. Hey, now I'm unmuted.
Now you're unmuted.
Yeah, thank you, Royal, and hello to CoCA, recent winners of Mayor's Arts Award. Congrats on your hot streak of hiring. Those former arts and culture staff are really, really deliver. You know, it's a strong team. In all seriousness, thank you, Barnes, both for setting the tone of the Indigenous land acknowledgement, and also just for the deep period of grieving that I think our country is in collectively. At the Office of Arts and Culture, we definitely are witness to that. We are part of that anger and pain, even as an instrument of the city that is complicit in some of that violence and some of that harm. And we are aware and fighting to mitigate the harm that has been done to generations of Black, Indigenous, and communities of color. I said before, it's like a triple crisis, and it really is like a moment where we're seeing state-sponsored violence in such a profound way in the context of a public health crisis that is unlike any we've seen in 100 years, in a legacy of white supremacy culture that spans hundreds and hundreds of years. This is the bill coming due for a lot of different things, and I think that we understand our responsibility in this moment. We understand the ways in which we've been complicit in these systems, and we believe powerfully in the role that arts and culture can play to undo the harm that's been done, and to facilitate hope and imagination for what could actually be on the other side of this. The Office of Arts and Culture was chartered in 1971 by Mayor Wes Ullman at the ripe old age of 34. During the worst recession in Seattle's history. It was the year that Boeing laid off 65,000 employees, 65% of their workforce. And there was a billboard next to Boeing Field that said, "We're the last person out of Seattle, please turn out the lights." And it was in that context that the city of Seattle, as a government, chose to charter an arts agency, chose to invest in culture and art making. And someone asked the mayor why he would do that at such a time, and he said, because we have to give people hope. And I really think that that is the through line of our legacy, and that is also the work before us. We are in a scary time in lots of different ways, and I have never been more convinced that the arts community and our creative community, our cultural workers and our organizers are the ones who are going to paint the picture of what that future can look like and help us come out the other side. Our office has run grant-making programs for almost 50 years. We've stewarded the city's 1% for Art public art program for 48 of those years. We have a comprehensive arts education initiative that was on track to restore arts education to every school by this fall. We might be delayed by a year now. We do a lot of professional development. We do a lot of work around racial equity, and we do a lot of work around cultural space and affordability. But at the end of the day, we invest in our creative community because we believe they are the agents of change that can help this city really realize its potential. And we understand that arts and culture bearers and storytellers are going to be essential to how this city recovers, not only from COVID, but from the sort of racialized pain that we're feeling as a city and as a country right now. When the crisis hit, I love that Royal pointed out that she shut down so quickly after she opened her show. For context, the first case of COVID reported in the United States was February 23rd in Seattle, well, in Kirkland. And the first death was February 26th. That's how long ago this crazy time began. I'm proud to say that the Office of Arts and Culture was the first arts agency in the United States to do a relief fund. And we didn't ask people to apply. We simply amended the contracts of all of the cultural institutions, the 238 folks that we fund, and gave them more money. We also negotiated with our incredible partners at the Parks Department and at Seattle Center to offer rent deferment, rent waivers for a number of our cultural partners. And importantly, and I think for the members of CoCA, we invested $50,000 in Artist Trust and $50,000 in Ijeoma Olo's Seattle Artist Relief Fund, so that individual artists who may not be represented by an institution were also able to get some relief. That relief was important, and that relief was not enough. We put about $1.8 million worth of salve on about an $80 million wound, and we have significant work to do, both in meeting the level of need that exists from COVID, and from reimagining our systems so they can do better work in the context of our racialized history. We really see the role of artists in three ways. One, we recognize the way in which they were disproportionately hit at the front end of this crisis. We know that artists were put out of work at a really disproportionate scale when the gathering bans went into effect. The restaurant industry, the hospitality industry, and the cultural sector were arguably the most directly hard hit and the earliest to be hit. And so we know we have to invest in order to maintain the stability of that sector. We also know that our creative community is uniquely positioned, as artists have been, from murals on boarded up storefronts to streaming lessons plans, to all the ways in which our creative community has pivoted online and in community to provide a sense of belonging, to facilitate social cohesion, and to help us remember that though we are physically separated, we don't have to be isolated. Our creative community and our storytellers are literally the glue holding this city together right now, as we are forced to be socially distant. And I think we have to continue to invest in that. And any investment in our creative community today is a down payment on the city we get to rebuild on the other side of this crisis. Because we are in a moment of reimagination at a policy level, at a civic level, that has never existed in any of our lifetimes. We know that COVID was both a singular cause of great harm, but also an accelerant of existing inequities that already were there. It brought to bear all the frailties of our healthcare system, our education system, our economic system, and frankly, our cultural sector. We did not have a safety net sufficient to carry us through the hardships that were caused by this pandemic. And now we have a chance to build back better. Not to rebuild the world as it was in January of 2020, but to rebuild the world as it could be. And I think it's going to be our creative community, our arts community, our artists who are going to help us literally paint the vision of what that future can be. I think CoCA is such an interesting microcosm of both that history and that future. I think that this has been a hub and a home for artists and shows and vision and risk-taking throughout its history. And I think that fearless collective leadership for this community at this time is so important. I'm excited that, from 1980 to today, you're going to keep pushing the boundaries. You're going to keep pushing the city to be better. I'm really glad that you have an incredible leader at the helm, and that you have a really strong board that is going to hold the line and continue to fight for the role of artists in the future of this city. And really, I just want to say thank you. Congratulations on being here today. I'm really appreciative to have the time to spend with you. And for all of the firefighting that I do, somebody said earlier they do 28 hours of Zoom calls. You do not want to know how much time I spend on Zoom calls. It's a horrifying number. This is what it's about. Yeah. The creators, the producers, the artists, to be able to be in community with you reminds me of why the Game of Thrones in City Hall is still worth it. It reminds me of the ways in which we are in this together. And I have incredible optimism, despite how terrible things are. I have incredible optimism that we are going to create a better city together on the other side of this. And we are not going to do that without our artists and without our cultural community. So thank you for having me, and have a great rest of your meeting.
Wow, thank you so much. I say let's raise our glass to Mr. Engstrom. Wish him well, health to your family.
Oh,
Thank you for your really, really hard work.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you so much. We're now going to hear from CoCA's board president, Eddie. I see you.
hi.
You ready?
There. Cheers. Hello, everybody. I'm Eddie Reed, for those who I've yet to meet, and I'm as Royal said, I'm your board president, and I've been a member of CoCA since 1984. So it's been a joy to watch a very beloved organization grow right in front of my very eyes. This little celebration of ours has been much anticipated. Not only for the diversity of it, to be able to show that part off of CoCA as an organization, but also once again to be able to touch the souls of all the creatives that make up our membership. So thank you all for joining. Our mission continues to be the same, to strive to lead the effort to provide exhibitions and compelling forums at evaluating recognition of both gender diverse art voices and racially diverse art voices that have been the underrepresented in the Pacific Northwest art scene. I think we can all agree with that. Randy spoke very eloquently about that part, and I really, really, really hope that on his end, we can all row this boat together in the same direction and kind of bring that little practice to an end. CoCA supports a fully empowered creative life for all people. We commit to champion policies and practices of cultural equity that build an inclusive community for artists and art lovers. We recognize the history of exclusion that has led to these ongoing disparities. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know about all of you, but I'm from the Stone and Rock age. Fred and Flintstone, they were my classmates, but I'm sorting this out, so please be patient. Thank you. Okay, so the next 34 years, we are looking forward to even more dynamic exhibitions and community building art practices that promote and celebrate the inclusiveness of emerging contemporary art voices across the Pacific Northwest. We at CoCA are humbled by your unflagging support. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you all for just being who you are, great creatives. Randy was right. What would the city be like without you? Thank you, and on with the show. Cheers.
To you as well, Mr. Reed. Salute. And now let's have a quick overview from one of our board co-chairs, Judith, actually.
Hi, everybody.
Here you
Hi,
are.
Judith.
Thank you, Eddie and Royal. I'm Judy Rail. I'm co-chair of CoCA's board of directors. And I just want to wish all of our members just a deep and true welcome to our event tonight. In addition to being our co-chair, I also serve on our finance committee and in recruitment, and my pronouns are she and her. I'd like to introduce to you the people who serve on our board. Board, please wave your hand when you hear your names. Thank you. First, Archis Gore. Archis chairs our tech committee. Eddie Reed.
Hey there.
Eddie is CoCA president. He serves on finance committee and co-chairs publications. Ishi Malik. Ishi is board co-chair with me, thank you, and chair of development and marketing committee. Joe Bisaka. I don't believe Joe is here tonight. Joe is a long-term CoCA board member. Joelle Cazares. Is Joelle here? Joelle is our board secretary, and he also serves on our development committee. Joseph Roberts. I don't believe Joseph is here tonight. He serves on our curatorial committee. Joy Turner. Joy serves on Development Committee. Kaylee Wold. Hi.
Hey, Kaylee.
Kaylee co-chairs curatorial and publications for us. It's Sarah Everett.
Hello.
Hi, Sarah. Sarah
Hi.
co-chairs curatorial committee. Thank you all. Now, CoCA members, as part of our bylaws, we need your votes to officially ratify the addition of new people to our board. Tonight, we vote on the formal election of Ishi Malik. Ishi is a marketing expert who has brought her brilliance to CoCA since November. She is an integral part of our board and our organization as a whole. Members, please go now to the ballot function on Zoom and vote on Ishi Malik's election to CoCA board. Thank you. And I'm not allowed to vote.
One of the things that I found so exciting, Judith, is that when I came aboard to CoCA, I actually interacted with a working board, not only with brilliant and talented people, but people who were not afraid to pick up that hammer. One of my favorite photos is Sarah doing the doing the installation of the members show. It just absolutely represents what CoCA is all about, that our board members are on time, on the spot, authentic, and not afraid of hard work. It is just always comforting, I think, to an ED to know that that many people, that many brilliant people are as committed to the organization as the ED, as staff, and as the members. So I do want to give a tip and a talk to all of you on the board for the work that you've done for us. Keep doing for us.
Thank you, Royal.
Thank you, everybody.
The results are in. We have 20 yeses and 0 nos.
Very good. Congratulations, Ishi.
Thank you,
I was so
Ishi.
nervous.
Ishi, welcome officially, finally, to CoCA board. We
Really,
love you.
absolutely. We're very, very lucky to have you. You know, to a quick intro to everybody else. This lady is scary good. I'm telling you right now. You know, so
She
thank
runs
you.
a smooth, mean meeting, gets things done. She's multitasking and incredibly just far-thinking, efficient, amazing.
And she's nice and open-hearted.
That's,
So
I
there
know,
you
right?
have it.
On top of all of that, she's also nice. Ishi, if you would take some time to show us how nice you are. And really share your brilliance around moving forward. And you've heard Randy's talk about that. It's been a primary theme of our meeting. And quite frankly, over the 34 years, it's been what CoCA has done in every regard. So let's hear some of your thoughts on that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. And thank you all. It's so great to, you know, look at faces and put them to names. I've been helping out with, you know, marketing and some of the social media. And so I've gotten to see a lot of your work over the last few months, but not gotten to see your faces. And so it's such a pleasure. And I've had such an amazing time working with the team. But yeah, I would love to kind of speak to, let me just share my screen. Some of the work that we're looking at as we move forward. And so as some of you may have seen, whether through email or on social media, we've really taken a step back over the last month or so to say, how do we really, you know, put action towards a lot of our statements of intent? And so we came together as a team through a few long nights and a few long days as well, and kind of put together 5 key action items that as a team, as an organization, as a member cohort, that we really want to dedicate ourselves to, and that one we feel can bring the most impact to the organization, but also to our community, because CoCA is a community. And that's one of the most striking things that I found when I first met everybody, was just that sense of camaraderie, that sense of just artistic, you know, oof, I'm losing all my words now. So I'm just going to move forward to the first one. And that first piece really is around our internal, oops, there we go. Our internal efforts to really make sure that we're continuing to advance our racial and cultural diversity of our leadership, our board, as well as our staff. And so Judy, since you've really been leading the charge on recruiting, would love for you to just say a few words about this.
Thank you, Ishi. I would love to. So at CoCA, we are leaders in organizational diversity and commitment to equity. And we will continue our efforts to advance the diversity of our leadership, board, staff, and interns with respect to race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, education, socioeconomics, disability, and age. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. And next, oops, I'm having, sorry, I'm having some technical issues advancing. There we go. And so next is really speaking to our some of our external partners and allyships that we've been developing, and Royal's really been leading the charge here around partnering with other arts nonprofits, as well as working with our local authorities around arts funding. And so Royal, would love for you to speak on these 2 action items.
Well, quite frankly, you guys heard from Randy, and he is central to the ongoing support that CoCA is going to need, because on an emotional and an intellectual level, he gets it. And part of getting it for CoCA is that we have such a diverse level of talent and generations and an actual history that we can point to, that we are absolutely the organization to work with the government, the governance, policy, our city council, around reimagining what needs to happen in the city in the arts. So as CoCA, I want you to know that you've taken that charge on. It's been recognized by Randy as well as other people, directors in the city. And so you're going to be hearing more about that. One of the things that we wanted to do, because at CoCA, we don't put words and no action. Looking back and looking at the 34-year history of notes and work and promises to ourselves and what we've kept, one of the things that I've noticed is that we always have action. And so looking at this current racial imbalance, CoCA as an ally organization, we are not a Black organization. Yes, you have Black leadership, but it is not a Black organization that I'm leading. So we are an ally. So we've decided that Onyx Fine Arts Collective is an African-American organization, over 300 plus artists, that we are going to work with them and with the city and with our CoCA artists and create a Seattle Black People's Artists Initiative. What is that going to look like? I have no idea. That's for Onyx to tell us. But one thing Onyx actually sent out to its membership, to the city council, to the mayor's office, and to the Office of Arts and Culture, as well as to For Culture, was a declaration that CoCA is its #1 ally, and that they and we are in this together. And that's how good our reputation is for our intent, for our actions around anti-racism, for our shaking out our own values. So I'm really proud of CoCA, and I'm proud of the fact that Onyx would choose CoCA to represent what equity in the city should look like in the arts.
Thank you, Royal. And last but not least, there are 2 additional steps that we're taking. First being that CoCA is really taking intentional steps to diversify our member base, and would love to elaborate on this a little bit. And so one, we're absolutely going to continue to celebrate the broad range of artists within our own member base. We love celebrating our member artists. We love to feature their artwork and tell your stories. And so we're definitely going to continue to do that. One of the first steps we're taking in this, and you'll be receiving it within the next week or so, is better understanding who makes up our member base. And so we'll be sending out a demographic survey. And the reasoning behind this is, one, so that we can, better understand the makeup of our base, which will help us, one, apply for additional funding and grants so that we can better support you. The second piece to this will also be working with organizations like Onyx to expand our member base, because we have such an amazing organization, we have such an amazing community, and so we'll also be looking to expand our member base and grow as a family, and we're really, really excited about doing that. We're also continuing our commitment to amplify the voices of underrepresented artists in our 2020 programming and beyond. And so this, honestly, it's not new. And I think that was one of the most exciting parts of doing this work, is that I think we've seen a lot of brands and other organizations kind of make passive statements or jump on a bandwagon. We've already been doing this. And it was why I was so proud to join the team a few months ago when I was able to join. And I'm super excited about the shows that we have upcoming. Our new show in July, Unseen Sacrifices, we'll be putting up more information about that on our website soon. But we are just continuing to focus on programming with our exhibits, but also with our fundraising and other events. We're going to be nimble. It's definitely a new era, and we want to make sure that we're really expanding our reach so that everybody's able to participate. And so one of the first moment of this is this meeting right now. So we wanted to make sure we were still reaching out to the community. We still had time to gather and have a community moment. We're also looking at pivoting our marathon and auction this year to a virtual format. So more to come there. We've got a really special team getting behind that. And then we'll also be re-examining some of our fundraising efforts for the back half of the year.
Ishi, thank you so much for that. And I really would like to take a moment to maybe a premature announcement, since all the operational parts of it are not figured out, but I know that Ishi and her cohorts and our president and our additional board chair and Allison will figure it out. But here's the raw deal. For every single one of our current active CoCA members, as of this meeting, you are receiving an artist benefit for the hard work that you've done, for the faith that you've had in the organization, for the reach that you've done for each other, for the way in which you've embraced CoCA and our artist community during this pandemic and racial crises. I want to invite you to extend your current membership level for 1 year, one full calendar year at zero cost. And so you're going to hear more about that. If you've already paid your membership, then we will also deal with that. But the bottom line is, that's how much you are valued. It is a benefit that you have earned. It is not a reward. It is who and how you are, and we salute you. Thank you. Well, okay. I'm excited about that, okay? And
I'm excited about that.
I'm drinking water, guys, so my excitement has nothing to do with my fake martini. And I was told that orange chips don't go on martini. Someone's over here holding up a sign telling me that. But yeah, just love our members. Absolutely. That's what I love about CoCA, is our ability to be in that collegial, in that collective space. So thank you so much. Well, getting on to what the big deal is, this is our 2020 member show. And I really want to introduce you to an amazing set of people. We're going to hear very briefly from Nicole DeMint, who was the guest curator and the guest juror for the 2020 member show. Have you joined us, Nicole? Nicole? Are there technical difficulties?
There were, but I'm on. Thank you.
Give it up, 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 give it up. How are you?
I had...
No, before you start, return the necklace. It was only a loan.
What? Wait a minute. No, this is another one. That was different.
Welcome, welcome. Let's hear from you.
Thank you.
Hear that.
Thank you. I apologize for being late. I had a wardrobe difficulty with my jumpsuit. So don't try to go to the bathroom at the last minute when you're wearing a jumpsuit. Just don't do it. Not a good idea. My apologies. Thank you so much, all of you. I'm so excited to be here, to be able to present about this show that I wish, I wish I could see it again in its beauty. There's so many artists that I am so pleased to have been able to put your work up. I made a few notes, and I apologize, there's not many images, but there's so many returning members that are so significant to the member show. And what I've loved about every year, which this is my favorite show, what I've loved every year is to see the progress and the breadth of how an artist grows. I am so amazed by the work that everyone does, and just it's amazing every year to put the show together. I want to thank Nat for the incredible work that they have done. I also want to thank Jillian Martinez, Avril Lum, and Danielle New for supporting putting the show together. As you all saw, hopefully, in the week or so that it was open, you had an opportunity to go see it. But if you've seen it before, it's a big endeavor, and I couldn't have done it alone. Of course, there's all the other support and staff that helped. So, you know, from Babs Fulton, Polly Purvis, Sandy Bransford, Reginald Brooks, Tatiana Brown, Grace Ann Cummings, Braden Duncan, Sarah Everett, Alice Dubiel, Martha Dunham, Susan Gans, McKenna Gadiant, Michelle Fryer, Steve Jensen, Jody Dolt-Dersma, Kalindi Kunis, Ilya Chikimaro, Ingrid Lati, Andrea Lawson, Kelly Lyles, Tom McIntyre, Colleen Manette, Anne Marie McNamara, Tiki Mulvihill, Lisa Myers Bullmash, Rosie Namara, Edward Nelson, Kyle Reese, Stephen Rock, Liz Rouet, Kathy Sarkowski, Lisa Sheets, Eva Skold Westerlin, Barbara Shaman, Marissa Son, I'm Not Done, Phil Stoiber, Kaylee Wald, Eddie Reed, Randy Warren, Amanda Sweet, Elizabeth Waddington, Frederica Foster, Natalie Phobes, Susan Derrick, Sena Clara Creston, Karen Bueller, Lana Blinderman, Wiley Ashley, Cree Arvanitis, Nadia Ahmed, and Rahena Alam Khan. I mention these individuals because year after year after year, they come back and they grow, and their work is amazing. And they're long-term CoCA members. So I can't talk about each one individually, but I did want to say your names and let you know that it's just been an honor to be able to put the member show on. And I'm so excited that members renewals will be supported for another year. That's beautiful. So thank you, board and Royal and staff, for doing all of that. So a little bit, you don't want to hear me talk too much, I know. You just want to know who won the award. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, you know, this show had so much spirituality to it. And I say that in the vaguest way possible. There was a depth, there was a heart that the people brought forth with 2020 vision. And if we had 2020 vision in December and January when we were putting the show together, I don't know if it would change as too much, because I really feel that this show, there was an insight that all of the artists brought forth. You know, Susan Christensen, Laura Brown, Hugo Morrow, Lana Blinderman, all had a real spiritual presence in their work. And you might not be able to see it, but that's the beauty of art. And I wish that we would have more time to get together and talk about those things, because I feel very lucky to have been behind the scenes and to have been able to understand a little more about what the work was about. And then, you know, Cree Arvanitis did this GIGO Holy Pelicans, the garbage in, garbage out. And she's so clever with her work, a longtime CoCA member and really superstar volunteer that's been around so much. So thank you, Cree, for your incredible work that you do. Monica Tai, I think I saw you here tonight. So I just wanted to give you a shout out. Your piece is full of vulnerability and authenticity, and so beautiful in its contemporary exposition of what art truly can be. It's a mirror with Chinese text in red, and every little thing was well thought out. So I really love the piece. It wasn't worth raising you. So my deep, deep thanks for including that work in your submission. As I mentioned before, longtime member Polly Purvis. Polly every year brings forth something that is so fun and so powerful. So, you know, she's probably the only person that can include salvaged iron and antique lace in a very successful contemporary art piece, but it looks like shoes, and it's called Imelda's Obsession. So it's just so clever, and you don't even really need to talk to Polly. She's so clever with her titles, and again, just super thanks for all that you've done for CoCA as a member and being around so long, and every member show, it's always a real treat to see your work, Polly. I just want a quick shout out to previous interns that some were artists when they were interns and some were not, but Nadia Ahmed, John Huang, McKenna Gadient, Rahena Alam Khan, and Liz Rouet and Carol Anderson, not interns, but I'm going to say superstar volunteers. Those names right there are just really, again, impressive work, and you work on the other side of the desk. You know, you come in and you slave away and do the hard work and hang the shows and decide what goes where and all this stuff. So a big shout out to all those superstars, and in addition, their work is really amazing. So I'm going to also talk about, before I get to what you were all waiting for, which is the Jurors Award, Marissa Son is someone, and I hope you get your catalog, because the cover by Ayel is amazing, and I've written a little bit more about some of the work and my thoughts. But Marissa Son's work, which I talk about there, is just this very small, maybe 2.5 by 3.5 instant Polaroid. And it's called Forgotten. And it's just this beautiful piece. It's so interesting looking at things online and then seeing them in person. And when I saw it online, I didn't know what it was. I knew it said instant photograph, but it looked like a painting. And then the title Forgotten made me contemplate, did someone forget to process this photograph because it's this abstract of colors? Or is it something that, you know, is it about a photograph that someone was forgotten? I don't know. There were so many beautiful layers to it, and it was really sublime to look at. And luckily, it's in my collection now, and I can't wait to pick it up. So thank you, Marissa, for including that beautiful work. So, and of course, you know, I always love when there are arts organizations with board members that are actually artists and have anything to do with the arts. So it's not always the case, but CoCA is unique in that way. So Eddie Reed, fantastic work in this show, and always. Sarah Everett, I love what you do with thread and pieces of paintings. And Kaylee, you are so diverse and amazing in so many different ways. And I'm super excited that you're doing the publishing thing for CoCA. So thank you all for your work in the show. And there are other artists on the board that I deeply admire, but not in the show. So thank you all. So when I was finally looking at and trying to think about who would get the Jurors Award, first of all, it was hard. It was really hard, and it's still hard because I can't decide. So I have two. And as far as I understand, there's only one gift card, but I am going to donate a gift card to the other person, because to exclude this person from and their work from this is just not an option for me. So that is that's just what I'm going to do. And because no one's the boss of me anymore, I can do whatever I want. And it just feels right. So which one do I tell you first? So I'll start with their art is always, and I think Randy and Royal and Eddie and have already stated that, you know, the cause of CoCA artists is to speak your voice and to do it in such clever ways and to lead the public in new ways. And I see that in the history of CoCA. I see this in the show. You know, it's powerful work that we do as artists and arts organizations. And I'm proud to offer these two individuals that do all of that, this award, Jurors Award. So Michiko Tanaka is one of the artists that I am awarding, yes, for the Jurors Award. And her piece is called Bill of Rights. And at the time before the show closed, you know, the Bill of Rights is pretty controversial these days. And Michiko's work to create and to discuss and have a talking point and become a portal to talk about the Bill of Rights is clever and fun. And so, you know, she's got, she uses emojis for all 10 amendments of the Bill of Rights. And then, you know, she provided it for, I think, for free for people to just take sheets off. And, you know, there's just so many layers of generosity and wisdom. And she's also, as far as I know, I think she's a new member. I'm new to her work, but I'm really proud to know it now. And she normally works in large scale murals. So, you know, she also did this wonderful, intimate little piece. And hopefully everybody was able to get one of those sheets because it's a really powerful work. And I'm proud to offer her, I don't think I saw her name, but I'm really excited to offer the $100 Artisan Craftsman Supply gift card to Michiko Tanaka. So congratulations, yay. So the second artist, I've known for a while, and she is a longtime CoCA member, as well as has been in and this is a total surprise, nobody really knows except for maybe Nat what I'm gonna go into here, but she's been a part of the marathon and auction and creates amazing work in the 24 hours. And, you know, again, when you see these online, they are one thing, but then when you see them in person, whether it's larger than you expected or whether it's smaller, such as Marissa's, than you expected, there's always this beautiful revelation that comes. And this artist is providing us, and I'll quote what she says on her members page, an exploration of the myth that Black people feel pain less intensely than whites. The artist is Lisa Myers-Bolmash. And her piece, They Don't Really Feel Pain, the title of it, is there's a white bat that is above a box of different colored eggs. And there's just a power and a fragility to it. And this mixed media component, it is wise, it is authentic voice, and it instructs us a little bit about the pain and the vulnerability in our society. And I think that it is a beautiful piece above everything else. So it is my absolute honor to follow up, and I'll send her a gift card or whatever we need to do. We'll work it out. But Lisa Myers-Bolmash is, I'm sorry I couldn't pick. It was really hard. So she's my second choice with They Don't Really Feel Pain. So congratulations, Lisa, and thanks to everyone. Yay.
Thank you so much. And we can worked together on that piece. Congratulations to our chosen artists. And we'd like to have, thank you so much, Nicole. Nat, you're with us. If we can have you take us through some of the other additional member show video, as well as some other additional awards. Are you muted?
I guess, yeah, sorry. Didn't realize I was muted. Are we doing the video or the award first?
Do the video first and then the award. We're kind of short on time. We want to honor everyone's time, but I think it's very important to share that video and to hear from you as curator.
Gotcha. There it goes. In the gallery space and online.
My bad. There we go.
Our current exhibition is our annual members show, 2020 Vision. 127 artists are exhibiting both in the gallery space and online. Over the past 2 years with this organization, I've worn many different hats. I've been a volunteer, an intern, and then finally a staff person. And my favorite part about this organization is how warm and accepting it feels. It's inclusive and approachable to anyone off the street. No matter if you're a beginning artist or a professional artist, you will be welcomed. Like all things CoCA, we work as a community. So along with our guest curator, Nicole Dement, myself and our curatorial intern selected all of the pieces for this exhibition. Work was placed on the wall based on
Thank you for that sharing of those parts of the video.
Yeah, that's the challenge right now, folks. Is, you know, our technical person actually is operating in Sri Lanka, and so the signals is a little long and tough there. But thank you, thanks for hanging in there, everybody.
I think that's just Florida. Sure, either that or California. Now, you also were going to share a couple of comments and then really get to the Viewer's Choice Award. Everyone is excited about that piece.
Yes. So, hello everyone. My name is Nat Thornton. I use they, them, theirs pronouns. So just a couple of thoughts about the show before I move on to our much anticipated People's Choice Award. I want to give a shout out to Nicole for her guest curation and just the absolutely wonderful flow that we got through the exhibition. While it might seem overwhelming or daunting by the sheer number of pieces that we're showing all at once, I also feel that it's very inviting, because each piece you could spend 10 minutes at each piece trying to look at the details and soak in the work and find something new when you're revisiting the gallery. So I also really love the way that this is a snapshot of what everyone's collective thought about our theme 2020 Vision is. Sorry. Told him to stay in the room. The one time it comes out is when I'm talking. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite thing about art, is that everyone can have a singular starting point and just go out a million different ways. And that's what I love about all of our members, is that there is no right set way to make art. And so you have all of these beautiful interpretations of 2020 Vision. But since I believe we are running a little short on time, I'm going to move to our People's Choice Award for Facebook, and then our gallery that moved to online. So at number 5 for our Facebook People's Choice Award, we have Anna McKay and Karen Buller. Thank you. Congratulations. In 4th place, we have Colleen Manette and Etta J. Congratulations to you both. In third place, we have KT Hancock and Carrie Dina Riva. In second place, we have Megan Jones and Shima Starr. Congratulations. And for what everyone's been waiting for, first place, we have Judy Laub and Lindsay Payton. Congratulations to the two of you. Nice work, everyone.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Beautifully done. You know, this has been an exciting time together. We've got to do it again. We're not going to just wait till next year. We're going to keep our digital footprint. And I want to give a shout out to everyone who came tonight. I really want to hear more from our members. You have my email.
I'm so sorry. There is one more thing. We have our thank yous for our, do we have time?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I was
I'm sorry, but I would be remiss if I did not give a special shout out to our interns and a couple of select volunteers, because this show would not have happened if I did not have the help of all of these people involved. I just want to, like, anyone who's here is on this list, thank you so much. But Sam Richardson, who is a former intern and now a volunteer, and a volunteer again, just for his incredible help with installation. He's been a rock through the last, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 installations that I've been a part of. Carol Landisman, also thank you for your help with installation. Jillian Martinez, who's one of our interns, our members intern / curatorial intern, for her help with curation, install, and big thank you to the portfolio review. That would not have happened without her help and guidance. Avril Loom and Danielle New, who are arts leadership interns, for their help with grants and install. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, I don't know why I said Sanders. Sarah Huckabee, who has been pivotal in gathering information and helping us pivot with our marathon and auction. Alexis Chapman, thank you for your help with web design. Our website looks beautiful, and marketing. Katerina Abbott, who's been just a absolute rock star when it comes to social media. And then I would just like to say a warm welcome to Ashley Trinell, Natalia Salazar, and Alana Whitaker, who are all our newest interns, and we are happy to have them as part of our new CoCA team.
Thank you so much, Nat. It's amazing. And you can also go online to the website and familiarize yourself with these amazing group of brilliant young people who are carrying on the CoCA tradition, even as we sit here right now. Well, thank you all so much. We are talking
quick raffle, Royal.
but we are going to do the raffle. Right?
Yeah.
Way, Allison. You do it. You do it.
My name is Allison Post, and I'm the operations manager. I'm about a little over a month in. My pronouns are she, her. I'm super excited to be part of this organization, part of such an incredible team of artists, arts lovers, arts advocates, and the community. Ishi did a random number generator. We were trying to figure out the best way to do this. I had a graduation hat I could pull things out of. The raffle consists of 2 tumblers, 2 show catalogs, and a sketchbook. And the winner is Donna Allen.
Yay, Donna.
Congratulations, Donna. Are you here with us still? Are we able to see Donna?
Yep, hold on, we'll unmute her.
Congratulations, Donna.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm a new member and you're a great group, and it's just been wonderful to participate in this show. So it's just icing on the cake. Thanks so much.
Well, welcome, Donna.
So
And you're
much.
welcome. Thank you.
We're going to do this again. Our digital footprint will be big. It will be loud. So keep reading those emails. We love every single one of you. And it's my pleasure to be your executive director, to work with the board, our members, our interns and volunteers. And I say good night. Thank you so much.
Good night, Royal. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. How do I do that?